Hey, kitty bums. It's taken me like 5 ever to make this video. And I'm still kind of just like, but like, no, I genuinely do really want to make it. I just, life's been so draining lately. So I'm just coming at you from bed. That's just as good as it's going to get right now. I wanted to have a little chat about what's been going on. I have been so on and off with anything endo related lately, because I just have not really known where I've been at in my own body and in my own head, and it just hasn't felt right to be, I don't know, advocating when I don't know, I just feel like I've been losing my mind a little bit, because when it comes to my advocacy stuff, I really want to make sure I'm giving it the right justice and having the right information and, you know, honouring everybody who's suffering. There's also just been some really terrible things going on in the world for a long time now. And I guess I've just been trying to educate educate myself on different things that have been happening and that feel really important. I've also just been really struggling with my mental health for a long time, honestly, but last year, pretty much the whole year, like I'm not even exaggerating when I say this, I spewed pretty much all year. I was trying to find the right antidepressant and started working with a psychiatrist, and I feel like all we did was tweak it, like make it a higher dosage, make it a lower dosage, and then change it all together, you know, try and change when to take it. Like, it was just really, really constant, and I just felt like I was losing my mind, honestly. I have found antidepressants and anxiety medication to be really beneficial for me over the years. But I've just been getting to this point where it works for about a year, if not even quite that. And then it just stops working. And one of them that I was taking made me put on like 20 kilos in a year. And I think that just added its own extra layer of things because, I don't know, the simple things like getting dressed and actually having clothes that fit you. Like, I had to buy so many new clothes, and having a chronic illness is a financial burden enough as it is, let alone having to buy a bunch of new clothes. And like, that was just, that's just a whole other conversation for another day. But yeah, no, I have been really struggling with trying to find the right medication. There was another one that I tried that actually made my body break out in a rash. I got it all over my body, and it was really, really painful. It was burning and stinging and just awful. So I stopped taking that one, and we tried another one. So in the last year, I think I tried four, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's right, 4 different meds. And it wasn't until just before I went on my trip to Japan that I decided, look, I can't do this right now. Like, I can't keep changing my medication. We were just at a point where I didn't notice anything with the new medication. Because obviously these things you have to give a little bit of time. Like, you can't just take it and be taking it for a day and be like, oh, okay, that works, or well, that doesn't work. Like, you really do need to give yourself at least like a month on the medication, and you also need to try and find the right dosage. And it is just such a big, big process. It really, really is. Yeah, because I was having such physical reactions from it. I think too because I was so run down, and I honestly feel like I'm still trying to catch up on some of that energy from all of that. Like, I was just feeling so weak. I literally spewed some days maybe like up to 10 times a day. I could hardly eat. I wasn't sleeping. I couldn't even eat like a full meal. Like I literally couldn't eat a full meal for months. Like I just could not get through a meal, and it could have even been like a small portion size. I still could not finish it. It was hard. It was really, really hard. And then I was starting to get a bit worried about having to go to Japan and needing to be on this medication and being so sick and having this whole trip planned and feeling like I wasn't going to be able to do any of it, because when I'd been changing my meds, it got to the point I missed so much work. I missed so many things. Like I just genuinely could not stop spewing. And if I wasn't spewing, I was gagging. And I had to stop and start so many times. Like it was constant stop, start, stop, start. And it just got to the point where it was really debilitating. And I was trying to tell my doctor, like, look, I think I need a bit of a break from this. Like, I understand I need to find the right mental health medication, but I was also going to see him to see if he could assess me for other things, because I'd been told probably worth seeing a psychiatrist for so long. And we never really got to any other kind of assessment on anything else. He said he was assessing me as we went, but I didn't really understand how he could properly assess me when we were constantly changing one medication to the other, one to the other, one to the other, one to the other. So that was just fun. And I honestly think amongst all of that, like my endo pain has been so up and down. But thankfully, since getting out that second uterus that I got out, probably going on, is it 3 years this year? I'm actually shocked by it. Like, I feel like I've had a lot of imposter syndrome, because I feel like I've definitely still had pain, don't get me wrong. I've still had some really hard days with my pain, and I've still had my flare-ups. But life was somewhat manageable to a degree after I got that surgery. And even though I've been diagnosed with endometriosis and we've had the labs done and everything like that, I guess I was still in my head a little bit of like, should I be speaking on this? Like, is this something that I should be advocating for? Like, I think I'd been gaslit for so many years that I started to gaslight myself that, like, was my endo even that bad? Because I was like, what? Was it just like this uterus? Like, is that what was causing me all my pain? Was it like nothing to do with my endo? And then I obviously had moments of really gnarly pain where I was like, no, dude, it's your endo. Like, stop thinking like that. But I really had to work through my brain. I'm not going to lie. Like, I felt like, yeah, like I wasn't fully meant to be advocating for endometriosis, because I wasn't even sure if mine was as bad as I believed it was. Obviously time's gone by and I've gotten more out of my head, and I know that I have like every right to advocate for my disease, and also like that my pain is still very, very much endo related. But obviously like that extra uterus thing was causing me a lot of pain, and I guess I haven't had that level of relief for ever. I guess I was going to say for a long time, but ever. So yeah, I've been kind of just slowly dipping my toes into it and then leaving, because I also have just felt like I've been losing my absolute mind, which has been really, really amazeballs. But since coming home from Japan, I've probably been home for a few months now, got the shakes. I stopped taking my antidepressant just before I went. So this was in March. And probably a week before then, I had taken my last, like, small dosage of it, like, weaning off it. And, yeah, I managed to survive the trip with minimal gagging and spewing, which was a shock to me, honestly, because I was, like, surely... We thought that because I'd been spewing so much throughout this whole process, I was getting really bad stomach pains. And I have damaged my stomach lining before. We thought I'd actually done some pretty bad damage to that again. Turns out probably just a little bit of mild damage. And also was just like getting really, really sick from all the different medication. I quite naturally have quite a physical reaction to my anxiety, and when I'm changing my meds, like as I've tweaked them over the years, I've found it pretty unpleasant, like headaches, I get kind of dizzy, I get quite sick in the stomach, like spewing and diarrhea is a pretty big physical reaction for my mental health for me. And that's how I kind of know I'm not in a great place. But yeah, so having all of like that pain from spewing so much, I think that was flaring up my endo pain and everything else, like, because I was just so inflamed internally. Like my stomach was just not happy. So obviously that led to like an increase in my pain and just spewing and being so tense. And oh my goodness, it was hard. It was really, really hard. And I guess, yeah, I just haven't had a lot of energy for really anything. Like, it's been really hard to do the small amount of work that I do. It's been really hard to show up for my friends and my family. And honestly, like myself too. Like, I just haven't been able to do the things I would have liked. Well, just anything I would like to do lately. Like, I feel like I've just been quite debilitated by my mental health. And my pain's very much coming in with a vengeance. I think Japan was probably the last of my really good stint with my body. That's the longest. I mean, I still haven't had to go back yet, but this period of time has been the longest amount of time I've had out of hospital in, I don't know, dude, like my whole adult life. It's insane. So it's been, I just feel like I'm not in the right body. Like, if I feel like my body's not tapping out on me, I'm like, this cannot be real life. Like, this can't be my body. Like, that couldn't have been me that did that. And then I'll feel a little bit better. I'll feel worse again. And I'm like, oh, you know, or like my pain will start getting bad. And I'm like, it can't be that bad. Like, your pain really couldn't have been that bad. You know, it can, and it was, and it is. Like, so that's awesome. I just find I've been really gaslighting myself for a long time. That's not ideal. Like, laughing about it, like, because honestly, like, we get gaslit for everything and in all of our appointments by all of our specialists and all of our doctors. And I'm sorry I say all, I should say most, but really the majority that I've dealt with, and I know a lot of other endo patients have dealt with, it's pretty on brand. But yeah, no, I'm just really trying to find my feet again. This is like the first time in maybe 8 years that I haven't been on any kind of mental health medication. So it's been a really kind of a different adjustment for me. It's been somewhat easy, thankfully. I was lucky that I was freshly transitioning when I was traveling, because that could have gone either way. That could have either been a really bad time, or it could have been how it worked out and actually been the perfect distraction for what I needed to to work out, you know. But the real test has been coming home. It really, really has. There's also been a lot of stuff going on in my personal life and with some of my closest people to me. So, like, it's just been harder to kind of regulate, but at the same time, sometimes easier. I feel like it hasn't been long enough for me to fully be able to say what all of my symptoms have been or how I have been feeling that's different, because everything has still felt like quite a whirlwind. I do feel like I can think a little bit more, which is amazing. I think some of my meds were very numbing for me, and I don't like that in an antidepressant. Like, I understand it is to numb to a degree, but I find when I'm on medication like that and I am kind of numbing something, like, I can't feel the good stuff either. Like, it's just a very like baseline kind of emotion all the time, And I find that really hard. Like, I know I feel things really strongly, but if I feel nothing at all, like, that is almost harder for me to navigate. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know. Like, it's just, yeah, I don't, like, I never know how I'm feeling, and I don't like that because I like to think I'm quite in tune with myself. But when I'm on medication like that, like, I'm not, like, I just feel like I'm not myself. I feel like my brain's definitely gotten a lot louder, mostly in a good way, which is surprising to me. Just kind of feel like I'm like pinging all the time. Like, yeah, lots of different things going on in there all the time, but that's pretty standard. I think it's just like a lot more noticeable for me now. But I did also find for a little bit that I was feeling not as debilitated by my mental health coming off them. And I don't know if that's just because I've been on some for so long, or if it just like, the last year has been changing so many, like, so often. It's like very up and down, but I am also trying to do something at the moment that's a really, really big thing that I've needed to do for a long time now. But obviously doing it, I need to dive back into a pretty dark place. And it's not great. It's not really very fun here, I'm not gonna lie. But I know that I need to do this thing, and if I don't, I just don't know if I can fully move forward. And that's something I'll talk about properly, more in depthly, like later on, because I do really want to talk about that and spread awareness on that situation. But right now I'm still very in the midst of it all. I really want to get back into spreading awareness about endometriosis and mental health and, admyosis. Again, I want to work more on, I guess, knowing more about that diagnosis for myself, because I learned about my admyosis and then it wasn't like a massive thing for me. I'm still not sure that that's a massive crux of my pain, but yeah, that's something I need to educate myself on a little bit more and actually talk to my current gyno about and all of that. But yes, I'm on the waiting list to go and see her again, because since coming home, I have been in the worst pain. I've been getting a lot of bleeding that I'm not supposed to have. I take Bisan, which stops my period, because I just can't even period. But yeah, I've definitely been getting a lot of breakthrough bleeding, and also just like a lot of sharp pains, kind of like that feeling of like your adhesions ripping off the side of your, wherever they're stuck to. I've just been getting a lot of pains like that again. So I probably will be working on going in for surgery at some point. But I'm just trying to avoid that at the moment as much as I can, and manage how I can without surgery as of now, because that will be my 6th surgery. And I just find, I don't know, it feels like I've had more than that, I think, because seeing the wrong people will definitely do some damage to your body, which is unfortunate, but that's just how the cookie crumbles. Yeah. But yeah, no, I just wanted to check in and give like a bit of a proper update, because I love talking to you guys, and this community is like amazing, and I genuinely struggled without it for such a long time. I'm just, I guess, trying to work on connecting again and navigating life again, because I know at some point I'm going to need to go back on a medication. But for now, I'm just really trying and manage things a bit naturally. I don't know, get really back into my self-care stuff, my journaling, my exercise, like meditating, and there's just so many things, even just like eating better and drinking water and moving my body and getting out of bed, like little things like this. Like, I'm just really trying to prioritize which sounds crazy because like a lot of people just do all of that naturally. That's just how you survive. But when you have a chronic illness, and like a lot of different mental health things going on, it becomes really hard to like just do the most basic stuff. And I guess that's just back where I'm at. So I'm just trying to, I don't know, get myself going again. It's a process, but we're going to get there. The imposter syndrome has been real. It's weird. Like, it's weird that you can feel like you have imposter syndrome when you feel good, but you also have it when you feel bad. Like, I don't know, like, I'm still very much accepting my chronic illness. So it's still a tough pill to swallow at times. And I guess that's probably always going to be a thing that I'm going to be working on. In every stage of your life, it changes to a degree, which is something I'm learning. But like when I feel good, it feels like it's not right and that shouldn't be me. And that's insane because I deserve to have good days and to feel good. And it's good to have days like that. It just genuinely feels like not right because when you're in pain and so debilitated for so long, that starts to become the only thing that really makes sense. So when it's not that, you're kind of like, what? Like, what? And that was very much where I was at. And I just really want to get back into all this because I love it. And I love connecting with you guys. And I love being able to help people. And it makes me feel good sharing my story, as weird as it feels a lot of the time because I'm talking about pretty raw stuff and I'm sitting here looking at my phone, talking to a screen. But no, I just, I really hope that everyone's been doing okay and that your pain levels have been as low as possible. And if not, that you've been able to have some support and some love there to help you through, because it definitely gets dark. And I just really hope that, I can't even say I really hope everyone's okay. Like, I genuinely do hope everyone's okay, but in the state of the world right now, and I know everyone else has their own stuff going on too, I know a lot of people aren't okay right now. So I just want to send out a nice big warm hug and lots of love in from me. And Chrissy, he's just snoring. Sleepy boy. That'd be nice. But yeah, no, peace out, Girl Scouts. I love you guys. But yeah, if you watch this whole thing, props to you because this feels like it's been 30 years long. But thank you for listening and watching, and I apparently need to go eat something, but I'm gonna eat some food. But I really hope that you guys have a good Monday. Be kind to yourself, please. I'm very much working on that myself too.